Hi guys, it's Shelby again. This video is going to be demoing how to apply a custom fabric to a chair. So a lot of times a client might have an existing chair they want to reupholster, or you might even be sourcing a chair that comes in a fabric and you can't get the photograph of the fabric applied to the chair, or you might be sourcing a chair and sourcing a fabric from a different place and you kind of want to show the client the final product. So I am going to be showing you from this client's concept. We used this kind of vintage looking chair and applied this modern fabric to it. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. As another example, I did a similar fabric here on a more kind of traditional chair. So you can do this for really any chair type. The key is dividing this chair into kind of individual parts and applying the fabric to those parts and then putting it back together. So I'm going to work over here in this kind of blank canvas, and to start you're going to want to kind of look at the scale of the fabric and make sure you're representing it more or less accurately. So look at the repeat pattern and just kind of the overall scale of the pattern you're using to make sure that you show the client what it's actually going to look like. So I always like to kind of create copies so that I can revert back to this original. I'm going to place it over the chair, and I'm actually going to lower the transparency so that I can see both the chair and the fabric. And I'm just going to start on this kind of side face of the chair. So make sure you have your chair selected, and you can either kind of go in and use the lasso to select this portion. I could also probably use the magic wand since this portion is kind of separated out from the wood pretty distinctly. I'll show you that in another area. Okay, so I was on the chair to select that portion. Now I'm going to make sure I'm on my fabric layer and copy and paste. And you'll see when I move this away, it actually looks like it was applied there. Okay, now I'm going to work on this kind of front portion of the chair. If you need to lower the opacity a little more so you can see better, that is fine. And I'm actually going to separate this top from the bottom, because if this were upholstered, the pattern wouldn't actually all kind of line up, since they would be two separate pieces that are upholstered. And I also want to maintain this little shadow so she can actually see the true shape of the chair. Okay, I'm going to shift this down a little. And so the other way you could do this is to select the chair and use your magic wand. Make sure the tolerance is at an appropriate level. Oops. And then select this white portion. So that's actually kind of a quicker way for this type of chair that works. And then make sure you select your fabric, copy and paste, and you can see I am on my way. You may want to kind of distort this fabric a little bit depending on the surface you're working on. So for the seat cushion, for example, the top of it, the fabric would actually be at a different angle. It's more similar to something like this. So again, I'm just selecting that individual portion of the chair. You have to think about it in parts, really. And I'm going to copy and paste that. Now, a quick trick here is to kind of vary the lightness and brightness of these pieces to show a little more dimension. So the top of the chair might actually show up a little bit lighter. Maybe this side of the chair shows up a tiny bit darker. So that just kind of gives the chair more dimension. All right, so now that this is distorted, I'm actually going to revert back to my original, which is why it's always good to keep that original, and work on the back of the chair. So this may be in a little different perspective. So it takes a little bit of time, but you'll get quicker as you practice, and the end result is really cool and custom and really a true picture of what your client's going to get. So it's a really helpful tool. Okay, make sure the fabric's selected, copy and paste that. Again, I'm going to distort it a little for the side of the arm here. we're almost done. Again, maybe I want to make the back a little bit darker. And then all we have left, I'm going to make actually this portion just so it separates itself a little from the seat cushion, a little bit darker. And then all we have left are these kind of two arm pieces, which I can select with the magic wand on the chair, choose my fabric, go over here, select with the magic wand on the chair level, go back to the fabric level, copy and paste, and there you have it. I would recommend going in and then selecting each individual face you did and grouping those together or merging them. So you can always take them away and, you know, mess with the chair and maintain the original chair if you need to. So that is the demo for applying a fabric to a chair. I hope that's helpful.